What is up, YouTube fam?
Hey
Thank y'all for
guys.
tuning back in, and we back on the side of YouTube where we are on the scary side of the UK now. And this is Urban Legends.
Didn't like it.
Urban
Don't
Legends.
like it.
We went down the castles. Don't like those.
Mm-mm.
Well, I would like to see them, but as far as the haunting goes, no. And then the one before that was what was it? Scary Places and just Evil something. It was something else we did, but this one is Urban Legends. So I like these because Urban Legends are cool. You know who started the story? Is it real? How did it come up? Always wonder, especially when it date back so far. So that's gonna be cool to go to. But before we dive in, if you're new, hit that subscribe, like, notification bell. Links to our other channels down below, along with our Amazon wish list if you'd like to send us something. I'm gonna figure out. I know some of you guys have been asking. D's a big coffee drinker, and I know a lot of people have been talking about that. Like, can we send a coffee? So I know there's an app you can use, but
I've never heard of it.
we'll see one that's like common for you guys that'll make it easy. So we might add that down there to send the coffee if you would like to. I know a lot of people have been asking that. So just thought we clarify that. But let's dive in now.
Britain is abound with folklore in all forms, some as traditional as Robin Hood to more contemporary legends like the Beast of Bodmin Moor. Some stories can be traced back to their roots, while the origins of others are a mystery, becoming a ghost story told around fireplaces and to children to steer them away from the forgotten path. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down some of my favourite legends with our list of the Top 5 Scary UK urban legends. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Let's jump in. Coming in at 5, Hairy Hands. The legend of Hairy Hands is infamous around the English moors of Devon, with this ghost story built up around a particular stretch of road in Dartmoor, which was purported to have an unusually high number of motor vehicle incidents during the last century. Now, between Cherrybrook and Postbridge in Devon, an isolated stretch of road named B3212 runs over the Leviathan Folds of Dartmoor, a wide open space that gives any traveller a claustrophobic sense of self, while amongst the natures in grand order. Along this stretch of road, there had been a high presence of driver, motorcyclists and cyclists falling prey to dangerous collisions and accidents. However, this isn't what's baffling. It is instead their story and recounts of how and why their accidents occurred. On the 26th of August 1921, an army captain was driving across the moors when, according to him, a pair of invisible hands took a hold of him and forced his motorcycle off the road. This resulted in London newspapers picking up the story and making this supernatural occurrence famous nationwide.
That's scary.
That is crazy.
That's scary.
You know what? It's legends like these, or I don't know if I want to drive down that street to see if it's real. If it's driving people off the road, like that's one I don't think I want to find out. We got one here. There's actually two here. Streets. There's one not in our town. It's a little town like 15 minutes from us. They have one where and they've showed footage of it. Like that's the crazy part. You drive down this road and you see this lady like walking, like she like an older lady, like with like an old dress on or whatever. And there's multiple videos of people driving by and seeing it. Like if it's foggy or whatever, you can see her. And then there's another one where if you leave your car, it's a railroad track. If you leave your car there, supposedly if you put like powder or something on the back, you'll see little hands of children pushing, and your car will start moving. Like it's supposed to be the children are pushing your car over the railroad track. Because what happened was a bus got stuck and a train hit kids right there. And so they say their spirits are still there. And then if you leave your car and if you stop and put it in neutral, supposedly their little hands are pushing your car over.
Never have I ever heard of any of these.
Yeah, they're in Delano.
Wow.
People go out there. If you go to TikTok, you'll see it. It's all over TikTok.
I'm gonna do it.
However, this wasn't the only occurrence. Many others have also experienced hands, but not always invisible ones. Some have even reported to be hairy hands, grabbing their steering wheels and attempting to steer the hapless traveller off the road. More interesting still, not all incidents have occurred in moving vehicles. In 1924, a woman camping on the moor with her husband reported seeing a hairy hand attempting to gain access to her caravan. However, she reported that the hand retreated after she made the sign of the Holy Cross. Now, the story of the hairy hands has grown over the years, with many attempting to write a backstory for the baffling road, with a few local versions attributing the hands to an unnamed man who died in an accident on B3212. Coming in at 4, Beast of Bodmin Moor. Also known as the Beast of Bodmin, this English urban legend first came to light back in 1978, after multiple people reported sightings of mutilated slain livestock and an alleged panther-like cat. Now, the sightings of the Beast of Bodmin Moor are the most famous alleged wildcat sightings across the whole of the UK. This legend baffled folks most across Britain due to the fact that owning or importing big cats is illegal and often results in the animal getting detained or shot,
like that.
sadly. Bodmin Moor is a creepy place, beast or not, and should you happen to find yourself wandering alone across the rugged landscape, it is hard for your mind not to dwell on the legend of the beast. The giant cat-like animal was supposedly 3 to 5 feet long and sporting white-yellow eyes, and was reported enough for authorities to order an investigation into the beast and the mutilated livestock it left behind. However, the report concluded that there was no verifiable evidence of big cat on Bodmin Moor. However, there may be a logical reason for the reported sightings of the beast. It has been claimed that animal trainer Mary Chipperfield released 3 pumas into the wild following the closure of the Plymouth Zoo in 1978, and thus giving rise to the rumours of the beast. What do you guys think there? Big cat? Props.
That makes sense.
That one doesn't I feel like that should have been number 5.
Yeah, that's not like scary or nothing.
Yeah,
but
that
animals
should've been
can be.
number
You got the panther, bobcat. There's a bunch of big cats out there that can possibly be one.
Yeah.
I think people think of like a house cat, then got supersized. That's what I was thinking. The way they was describing, like a house cat, then went out there and grew to, but I know some people get those one cats, lynx, I think they're called, where they're like big old, those huge, like scary looking cats. And you can have them here. I know a guy that had one. They like.
I know which one you're talking about.
I think they call lynx, but they aggressive as heck. I don't know why people get them.
Their face is more square.
I don't know why people get them, but I guess if you want an aggressive animal that might attack you one day, go get one.
Coming in at 3, Jenny Greenteeth. Occasionally referred to as Ginny Greenteeth, this is an infamous figure in English folklore and is a river hag, similar to Pegpal or Grindy Low. Jenny Greenteeth would reportedly pull children or the elderly into the water and drown them. This legend was popular in Lancashire and North Staffordshire, with many children describing this figure as green-skinned with long hair and sharp teeth, and is also described as lurking in the upper branches of trees at night. Although folks are unsure if this is just the blurring of 2 popular legends, Jenny Greenteeth and Ginny Hewlett, a folk name for an owl. Now, if you ask any Brit, they won't tell you how or why this legend began, simply because they don't know. There is no particular story behind Ginny Greenteeth, yet that doesn't stop reports of scared children running from a woman in a swamp. However, many do consider her to be a memory of sacrificial practices, or perhaps even a form of social control, parents evoking fear into their children in order to steer them away from dangerous ponds, streams, rivers, and canals. Coming in at 2, Black.
You know what? That one could be scary.
She look ugly.
My thing is, like, when they started these, like, I know there was, like, when it was 19, she said, like, 1970 something.
How does it keep going?
Yeah, right. And like, the first person who saw it, I wonder how crazy the people looked at them, like, hey, I was out there, and this green woman hanging in a tree was about to drown me. Imagine back there, probably looked, what is wrong with you?
Green woman?
Green woman? Like, you tripping.
You on that stuff.
That good stuff. Like, it's crazy. So, and then it lives on. Like, I'm trying to think if I've had any legends growing up. Only legend I knew about is, like, Bloody Mary in the mirror.
I heard of La Llorona.
I didn't know about that one until I got with you.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I just knew about Bloody Mary.
Or like Lake Lanier.
That one, yeah. Well, I don't think I had any growing up, like, where you, like, oh, you go to a certain place or something like.
Man? I don't know.
Oh, there was a haunted house.
White van.
There was a haunted house where I grew up. There was one where supposedly, I don't know if it was my cousins or if it was the mid, but it was supposed to be a house around the corner that it was people murdered in it, and if you go over there at night, you see like a little girl in the window. So we would go look, and I never saw a little girl, but supposedly that's what it was.
It's always look in the window, but you never see nothing.
Right.
Shuck. Now, this legend is perhaps the most common myth in Britain, specifically in the counties of East Anglia, known as Black Shucks, Old Shuck, or simply even Shuck. These are all the names given to a ghostly-looking black dog that is said to roam the coastline and countryside of East Anglia. Along the desolate coastal flats, among the graveyard, in the darkest forest, that is where the Black Shuck lurks. This calf-sized, malevolent hound with glowing red eyes is supposedly the harbinger of death, with it reportedly appearing during electrical storms, such as the one that struck the churches of Bungay and Blytheburg on the same day at the very same moment in August of 1577, leaving scorched claw marks on the church door. The incident resulted in 2 fatalities, with many reporting a feeling of dread. I quote, "All down the church in the midst of fire, the hellish monster flew, and passing onward to the choir, he many people slew." Chills. D.A. Dutt wrote about the Black Shuck in his 1901 Highways and Byways in East Anglia book, stating, "He takes the form of a huge black dog and prowls along dark lanes and lonesome field footpaths, where, although his howling makes the hearer's blood run cold, his footfalls make no sound. You may know him at once, you should see him by his fiery eye. He has but one, and that, like the Cyclops, is in the middle of his head. Now, I could go on, but I really don't think there's need. Beware the black shuck, the harbinger of death and doom.
Well, with that one, that's weird. Is it said those two churches were struck at the same time? That's crazy.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, if that's a true statement, that's nuts. And then he pop up with his little red eye.
With one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be outside.
But a lot of these are at night. Like, who's going out? Why do you want to go out at night? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't get the point of going out at night looking for stuff like this.
Like when you know it's out there, I'm not finding out if it's true or not.
I'm not the person to go.
Looks like I'm staying inside.
Let somebody else do it.
Finally, coming in at number 1, Big Grey Man from Ben Macdui. In Scottish folklore, the Big Grey Man, also known as the Big Grey Man of Ben Macdui, is the name of the creature which is said to haunt the summit and passes of Ben Macdui, the second highest peak in Scotland and the British Isles. Perhaps the most enduring myth on our entire list, the Big Grey Man is described as being an extremely large Sasquatch-like grey figure, covered in short hair, and wherever he ventures, he is said to be accompanied by a sense of irrational panic and dread. Evidence of the creature is limited to various sightings across Ben Macdui, as well as a few photographs and unusually large-sized footprints. And almost all of the reports includes the sound of footsteps crunching on the gravel just outside of the witness. Now, the first recorded sighting occurred in 1891, however, it wasn't made public until 1925. J. Norman Colley recounted their terrifying experience that they endured while summiting Ben Macdui, alone some 35 years prior, stating, "I began to think I heard something else than merely the noise of my own footsteps. For every few steps I took, I heard a crunch, and then another crunch as if someone was walking after me but taking steps 3 or 4 times the length of my own." However, Colley isn't the only one to experience the strange footsteps. Many other Ben Macdui climbers have reported the same sounds, as well as the similar feelings of fear and panic. Now, a few have summed this up as illusions, hallucinations even, natural stimulus brought on by exhaustion or isolation when climbing. What do you guys believe though?
These are some cool urban legends. Like, the only one I think I was like, okay, was the cat one. I was like, I'll go outside with that one. Like, that wouldn't bother me. I'd be like, the cat, cool. But the other ones, those could be some legit, urban legends. You got the gray man, the green woman, and the thing.
I don't know. I feel like the green woman was the worst one.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff. I don't think I get in that water because I don't want to be drowned. The other ones didn't pose no threats.
I wouldn't say it's an urban legend, but like my grandma used to live in a house. It was a 2-story house with a pool, and supposedly like a little girl drowned in there and stuff like that. So like they used to tell us like, oh, if you go in there at night, you could feel someone pulling you down. Nobody
wants to. You see, that's just stuff I don't care to know about. Like I wouldn't want to go in there. Like absolutely not.
We still went and swam in there. I just never.
I've heard pool stories. I've heard a few people talk about pools, like.
Or that like the son like died or something like that. That's why the room was painted all black or something, so you could hear. Like, I don't know, but my grandma said she's like, it's okay, they're kids. I'm like, Grandma.
That just goes back to what I said in the last video. Old stuff. If you don't know what I'm getting, if you watch the last video, you're catching my drift right now. Old stuff. I don't want an old house with an old pool. Because I don't want to get in there and
every pool is old.
No, it's not. Not everybody's pool is old.
Oh, I mean, like...
I'm talking about one of them 1950 homes. The pool been back there since then. I don't want to go one of those homes. Because I don't know who drowned or if anybody drowned. And then I get tugged onto my own pool. Now I'm stuck at this house. Cement it up because I don't want to deal with it. Put the cement down in it.
I remember that.
Cover it up because I don't want to deal with it. But this is a good video to react to. Let us know what y'all thought. If there's any more UK stuff y'all could think of, y'all want us to react
Definitely
to, that's like not our norm, or y'all should check this video out. Our links to our socials is down below. You can leave it in the comment section, but it's kind of hard when a lot of comments fly in there. So social media is probably your best bet to hit us up and send it to us, so that way we get the correct link. But thank y'all for tuning in once again. See y'all on the next one.